¿Le quitas esto para que suene como... o así es?
Como quieras, como quieras. Si quieres.
Como está como un poquito ahogado.
Gracias.
Así. Tú me dices. ¿Empezamos? Namaho Vishnu Padaya Divyajnana Pradhanine Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaho Vishnu Padaya Namastraya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaho Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jayo Vaishnava Thakur, Jayo Vaishnava Thakur, Jayo Vaishnava Thakur, Jayo Vaishnava Thakur.
Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gauranga Premanandi, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vaishnava Sadhu Sangha ki jai. Jai Jai Sri Radhe.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya.
I think it has to be. Okay. But it was close. Try again next time. You get a full refund. Full refund. Hare Krishna. Welcome, welcome. So today we're studying from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. We're on chapter number 8, which is entitled Attaining the Supreme. And we're on text number 27. Welcome, welcome. First time coming for the program?
Hare Krishna. Welcome, please.
Yeah.
This place first time, yes.
Oh, this place first time.
Fantastic.
Hare Krishna.
You're welcome and you're
Where are you visiting us from?
I'm from Ukraine originally, but I live in California now.
Oh, which part of California?
welcome.
Sweet Temple.
ISP, yes, I know it very well. That's my guru's temple. Yes. I'm a disciple of His Grace Vaisheshika Guru. By his
I'm from New York City. Gopal, Champu,
New York City?
Prabhu, yeah.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. So today we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter number 8, Attaining the Supreme. And we're nearing the end of the chapter. We're just on the verse before the last verse. Is like a little gain, Sasha?
So, okay.
Yeah.
Which verse? 27?
27, yes. Naite Shri Partha Dhanam. I can say, you can repeat. Naite Shri Partha Dhanam.
Naite Sri Partha Jnana
Yogi Muyati Kashchana.
Yogi Mukyanti Kashana
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Naite Shri Partha Dhanam.
Naite Sri Partha Jnana
Yogi Muyati Kashchana.
Yogi Mukyanti Kashana
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Naite Shriti Partha Janam.
Naite Sri Partha Jnana
Yogi Muyati Kashchana.
Yogi Mukyanti Kashana
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Please repeat.
Naite Sriti Partha Jnanam
Naite Shriti Partha Janam.
Yogi Mukyanti Kachana
Yogi Muyati Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Yoga Yukta
Bhavarjuna.
Naite Shriti Partha Jana
Naite Sriti Partha Jnanam
Yogi Muhati Asthana
Yogi Muyati Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshi Kaleshu
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukta Bhavarjuna
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Naite Sriti Partha Janam.
Naite Shriti Partha Janam.
Yogi Muyati Kaskana.
Yogi Muyanti Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarvesu Kalesu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Naite Shri Partha Jnana
Naite Shriti Partha Janam.
Yogi
Yogi
Mukyanti Kashana
Muyanti Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Naite Shriti Partha Jnana
Naite Shriti Partha Janam.
Yogi Mukyanti Kashana
Yogi Muyanti Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Yoga Yukta Bhavarjuna
Naite Sriti Partha Jnana
Naite Shriti Partha Janam.
Yogi Mukyanti Kashana
Yogi Muyanti Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarvesh Kaleshu
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Naite Shri Partha
Naite Shriti Pradhanam.
Yogi Huyati Kashkana.
Yogi Muhyati Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshnu Kaleshu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
It's good today's everybody break. Everybody's trying.
We got two more.
Uh-oh.
Would you like to try?
Yeah,
No?
not good at it.
No, it's no problem. No problem. I'm not good either.
Yeah, no, man.
No right or wrong, try. It's out.
90 Shriti Partha Jana.
Naite Shriti Pradhanam.
Yogi Mohaiti Karshana.
Yogi Muhyati Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kalishu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukta Babajana.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Good job. Sasha.
Naite Shriti Parthajanam.
Naite Shriti Pradhanam.
Yogi Muhyati Kashana.
Yogi Muhyati Kashchana.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Word for word. Na. Never.
Never.
Ete. These two. Shriti. Different paths. Partha. O son of Pritha. Janan. Even if he knows. Yogi. The devotee of the Lord. Muhyati. Is bewildered. Kashtana. Any. Tasmat. Therefore. Sarveshu. Kaleshu. Always. Yukta. Yoga Yuktaha. Engage in Krishna consciousness. Bhava. Just become. Arjuna. O Arjuna. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Purport. Krishna is here advising Arjuna that he should not be disturbed by the different paths the soul can take when leaving the material world. A devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. He should know that concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way is to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always dovetailed in his service. And this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain and direct. Wow. Safe, certain, and direct. The word Yoga Yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Sri Rupa Goswami advises, Anasa Tasya Visayan Yatarham Upayunjitaha. One should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system, which is called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions, because he knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service. Om Ajnanamirandasya Ananjana Salakaya Chachurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manohubhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadhati Swapadhantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Shat Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suthe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Bhancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Jiva Goswami, who wrote the Gopal Champu, mentions that any spiritual activity, if we begin it with chanting the holy names and we end it with chanting the holy names, whatever happens in between is, it's okay. So, thank you all for braving the storm, the worst storm in the last 10 years. We all somehow survived. And we will continue to survive until the end of Kali Yuga here. It's funny, sometimes we hear, well, everyone here is mostly already is an insider, so you know the philosophy. But we hear a lot of times that they say the world is going to end. It's going to end in 3 months. It's going to end in this month. It's going to end in this year. But Srila Prabhupada many times mentions that the real end of the world is in 427,000 years. So there's nothing to worry about with this climate, this and that, the other thing. But the thing to worry about, as Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport, is to become Krishna conscious. Because we don't know when the time of death will come. And actually just this morning, I was here in a class by Srila Prabhupada, given here, 26 Second Avenue, 1966. So those recordings are there, very, very nice recordings. And Prabhupada is preaching very strongly. And he was mentioning there how we don't know when death will come upon us. We really don't know. Parikshit Maharaj, he had a warning. You will die in 7 days. That's almost better than not knowing, right? In one sense, right? He knew he had 7 days to live. And what did he do? He went to Sukadeva Goswami. He said, "You please, what should I do? I only have 7 days left to live. What should I do?" You should sit down and hear Krishna Katha. So that is the value of hearing the scriptures, is that we understand what should we do with this yantra rudhanimaya, this human form of life. In the Bhagavatam 11th canto is mentioned labhasudhu labamidam bahusambhavante, that the human form of life is very rarely achieved. So there's 8,400,000 different species of life, and coming to the human form is something that's very special and very rare. And then what to speak of coming to a civilized human form of life, that then we can utilize our senses to do many things. But specifically, the function of the human form of life. Savai pumsa paro dharmo yatho bhakti adhoksaje ahaito kiya patiyata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsa paro dharmo, the supreme dharma for all humans. I just want to do a check real quick, because in today's day and age, we don't know if we have robots or real humans. So is everyone a real human here? Raise your right hand if you're a human. He's raising his left hand. No, just kidding. Robot. No, just kidding. So, yeah, the human form of life. We've come to this human form of life. Now what do we do with it? Do we go hang out on the bar on First Avenue? Do we go skydiving off a plane? Do we go jump into the East River right now and take a swim? What should we do with the human form of life? So here, in this chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is mentioning that at the time of death there's a couple of ways that one can pass. So here the 26th verse says, according to the Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. But Prabhupada is pointing to the fact that for a devotee, he doesn't concern himself over these things. Right? The devotee just makes an endeavor to absorb himself in Krishna. There's somebody there. Absorb himself in Krishna. And many times in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is mentioning, if you just think of me, you will come to me. Manmana bhava bhakta majaji mana maskuru mame vasishu yuktaivam atmana maparayanaha. That's in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 34. Krishna says, engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So Krishna has given us that assurance. Another place he mentions, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoviti tatataha toktam deha purnajamam naiti mam eti sarjuna. So this is from the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Another beautiful verse where Krishna is again telling us, if we know his activities, he specifically says here, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Who would like to go to the eternal abode? Yes? Right? This world is full of misery, full of... Just one look at the news, and it's like, it creates so much anxiety. I recommend, this is a prescription everyone can take. I'm not a doctor, but I'll give you a prescription. Leave your phones on airplane mode for as long as possible in the morning and do your spiritual sadhana. It's very, very helpful. I noticed in my life. His Grace, Gauranga Prabhu one time was given a class here at the Bhakti Center. And he said, if you give your 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. to Krishna, Krishna will take care of your 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'll say that again. If you give your 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. to Krishna, Krishna will take care of your 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I've recently started to do this. In my business, I'm able to do that, to leave my phone on airplane mode until 9. I work as a realtor, so I make my own hours. And so I just leave my phone on airplane mode until 9 a.m. And I do my chanting, I do my reading, I listen to classes, and I don't see anything, social media, nothing until 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., after I've been fortified, taking my vitamins, then I can turn it on and say, okay, I can interact with the world now. Now I'm fortified, I've purified the consciousness. Chaito dharpanam harjanam, right? Lord Chaitanya says, and in Shishasaka, Chaito means the mind. Chaito dharpanam, dharpanam means, dharpanam harjanam, dharpanam means the mirror. Marjana means to cleanse, cleaning the mirror of the mind. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, through the chanting of the holy names, the hearing of Krishna Katha, and my favorite, taking Krishna Prasadam, right? These are the 3 things. Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, Krishna Prasad. These 3 things in your life, everything will be okay. And things may happen to us in the sense that you may be sitting there thinking, Gopal Champu, what are you saying? Like, I have so many issues in my life. This is going wrong, that's going wrong. Or I'm going through this difficulty. But guess what? Lord Brahma says, Tatenu kampam sushimishamano, bhujane vatmakritam vipakam, hivatva purbhir vididhan namaste, jiveti yumukti pade sadayapak. He says, Lord Brahma is praying, he's saying that, my Lord, whatever difficulties are coming to me at this moment, I know that it's only due to my previous karma. I know that. But I will continue to engage in your service because I know the spiritual kingdom has become my rightful claim. And in the purport to that verse, Sridhar Swami says that, or is it Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? It's one of the acharyas because Prabhupada only translated up to the 13th chapter. So this verse comes from the 14th chapter of the Bhagavatam, 14.8, 10:14.8, in case anybody's keeping score. And he mentions there, the acharyas mention, that just as a wealthy man's son, the only thing he has to do is stay alive and he will get to his inheritance. So the same thing for a devotee on the spiritual path. All he has to do is stay alive in Krishna consciousness. Stay in association, stay with the practice. It's a long life. Actually, it's short, but it seems long at the same time. And if one stays in association and stays determined in his practice, the spiritual world becomes his rightful claim. And Krishna will see. Krishna will see the endeavor. Krishna's within the heart. Krishna's Paramatma. He's in the heart of every single living entity. Wow. That's amazing. Like, pop quiz. Is Krishna in the heart of the squirrel?
Yes.
Yes. Is Krishna in the heart of the birds? Is Krishna in the heart of every single person walking around out there?
Yeah.
He is. And the moment that the soul turns towards Krishna and says, Krishna, I am yours, from that time on, he will start to guide the devotee. And Krishna is very personal. Prabhu mentioned, he mentioned when we were chanting the verse, he said, I'm not very good. But guess what? Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janarda. He doesn't care if your Sanskrit is as good as a South Indian Pandit. He cares that we make the endeavor and that we're trying our best to the best of our ability. Krishna says he's the ability in man. So if I only have the ability to lift 5 pounds, if I lift those 5 pounds, that is the best I can do. And this is actually illustrated in the Ramayana. We all know this story, right? Some say it's a squirrel, some say it's a spider, sometimes it's what animal did it. But when they were building the bridge to Lanka, Ceylon, Sri Lanka, they changed the name so many times, but my sister's in Sri Lanka right now.
Mm.
And they were building the bridge, and Hanuman was bringing these big boulders. You know, Hanuman's so powerful, he can lift up the whole universe practically. And then came along a spider with like one little grain, and he was like struggling. And Hanuman looked, what are you doing? Come on. You see how much I'm doing? And Lord Ramachandra said, no, that's the best he can do. That's what he can offer. And that's okay. Srila Prabhupada giving class here in 26 Second Avenue. A drunk man came in and he left some toilet paper. And Srila Prabhupada said that is the beginning of his devotional service. And so, in this way, birds in the sky fly as high as they're able. So, one makes the endeavor to organize his life in such a way, his or her life in such a way, that more and more Krishna is integrated in our life. And by doing this, Krishna will give one more and more intelligence. He mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam, bhajatam priti purvakam, dadhami buddhi yogam tam, yenamam upayantite. That's from the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Verse number 10, Krishna says, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So we can rest assured that Krishna is in our heart And He's taking notice of every single thing we do at every single moment of every single day. And if one is making that endeavor to come closer to Krishna, Krishna, please show me how to come closer to you, He will show us. Krishna is not a passive person. He's very active in the lives of every single living entity. And that is His great mystic potency, Yogeshwara. He's the great yogi, the great mystic. And that Krishna has the ability to have an intimate relationship, intimate exchange with every single living entity. So therefore, the thing that Krishna is desiring the most out of everything is our love. So when he sees that the devotee is making the endeavor to give the love, yat karosi yasnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi konteya tat kuru samararpanam. Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son Kunti, as an offering to me. So, this is the act of Krishna consciousness, becoming conscious of Krishna. And the beautiful thing is that we have the ability to do it practically all day. Every day we have to eat. Every day we have to do some activity. So, in our going about the world, if we're constantly thinking, constantly praying to Krishna, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I serve? How can I do? How can I do? How can I do? More and more Krishna will start to give us the divine intelligence, the divya jnanam, on how to do this. And the beautiful thing is that as we engage in Krishna consciousness, we start to taste. We start to get a higher taste. Param drisva nivartante. So as we start to taste as a higher taste by engaging in Krishna's service, then the result is that we want to do more. And then we get more taste, and we want to do more, and we want to do more, and we want to get more taste, and do more. And that's why we see the great devotees, Rupa Goswami, Haridas Thakur chanting 300,000 names of Krishna every single day. That's 192 rounds. Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot of hours.
And the amazing thing is the story of Haridas Thakur. Maya herself tried to test him. And before Maya tried to test him, the Ramachandra Khan tried to test Haridas Thakur. Who's familiar with Haridas Thakur? Who knows who Haridas Thakur is? So Haridas Thakur is the acharya, or the teacher that was empowered by Lord Chaitanya to teach people how to chant the holy name, how to develop attachment to the holy name. And so there was a Muslim magistrate, a leader of a town, that was envious of Haridas Thakur. Because Haridas Thakur, being a saint, he was so renounced, people would come to him and ask him for guidance, for direction in spiritual life. And this is another point in spiritual life, is seeking association of those who are more advanced in ourselves and asking, how can I make advancement? So people would come to Haridas Thakur like that. So Ramachandra Khan became envious. And he said, oh, this Haridas Thakur, I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna make him fall. And the way I'm gonna do it is, I'm gonna hire this prostitute, and I'm gonna make the prostitute go and I'm gonna arrest him when he has connection with the prostitute. And so he called the most beautiful prostitute in the land. And she said, surely I will attract the mind of Haridas Thakur. So she went to where Haridas Thakur was chanting and made all her movements and called this, trying to seduce him. Haridas says, I've never seen anyone more beautiful than you. I've come here to unite with you. And he said, yeah, no problem. I will fulfill your desires. but just sit down here, I need to finish my chanting. So Haridas Thakur went on chanting all night, and the morning came. And she said, well, I have to leave. He said, oh, I'm so sorry, I couldn't finish. But tomorrow I will finish my vow. She came back the next day. Again, the same thing. He chanted all night. And in the morning, she said, well, I know I have to go. He said, well, I'm so sorry. Tomorrow, surely I will finish, and I will fulfill your desires to be united with me. And then the third day came, and again the same thing. And then when the morning came, the prostitute prostrated herself before Haridas Thakur, laid out flat, and begged for forgiveness, and said, Haridas, I was actually hired by Ramachandra Khan to come and unite with you so they can arrest you. And he said, I knew from the first day that Ramachandra Khan had this plot against me. He said, but to deliver you, to bring you closer to Krishna, I stayed here. And then he initiated her, and she became a great saint in the town.
Is her name? No.
That's a good question. We could do a little research in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know if it mentions her name. Does it mention her name?
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, no, but Sonacharya said that the name is Lakshmi Hira.
Lakshmi Hira.
Lakshmi.
There you go. So, and then similar thing happened with Maya Devi, just a little bit further on. And she also came to take instruction from Haridas Thakur. So in this age, in particular, people, okay, Gopal, tell me, my life is so busy. I have so many things to do. I have children, work, this, that. What is the easiest thing I can do to be Krishna conscious? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalo nastyeva, 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 nastyeva gati anyata. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. But to chant the holy names, to chant the holy names, to chant the holy names. So the holy names can be chanted anywhere, anytime, any place. No restrictions. No hard and fast rules. So that is the process for this age, for this Kali Yuga, the Yuga that we're currently in. The age of the Iron Age, the age of hypocrisy. And Haridas Thakur was a Namacharya, is the Namacharya. And we can pray to him as well, to please give us a taste for chanting the holy name. So when we make an endeavor to chant the holy names of Krishna with attention, with sincerity, Krishna is not different than his holy name, and he will help us. Nama chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya rasa vigraha punasadhyo nityamukto bhinatvam namanamino. So there's no difference between Krishna and his holy name. So literally, Krishna, that's Krishna. Krishna's there. And Prabhupada would explain it's not like mango or Coca-Cola. You just say the name, but the substance is not there. Like I say mango, but I can't actually taste a mango and there's no mango in front of me. But if I say Krishna, Krishna's there. Krishna's there in his name. And the more one becomes focused on chanting Krishna's names, develops attraction for chanting Krishna's names, the more one's life becomes Krishnized. And a Krishnized life will ultimately lead us to Krishna's abode, as Prabhupada is stating in this purport today, that at the time of death, if we're thinking about Krishna, we will go back to him. So let's all make this strong determination that we would chant Krishna's names every day without any distraction, at least for some time every day. Will be a great boon in our life. Pleasing to Krishna, pleasing to the acharyas, and ultimately pleasing to our true self. Jivera Sarvabhava Krishnera Nityadas. The living entity, the spirit soul, is an eternal servant to Krishna. So by engaging the soul in Krishna's service, one actually becomes happy. So we're all looking for happiness. And the happiness is there. One just has to tune into the frequency. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll open up the room for any reflections. A reflection is something you heard in the class today that stuck with you, or questions or comments. Not all at once.
Any question?
Is there like a better way, you know, like to chant Maha Mantra? Like, is it in the morning or is it like in the afternoon or evening? Is there a big difference? Like, because I heard like morning hours are better, right?
Yeah, so it's described, and also from practical experience, I can say, when you chant in the morning hours, specifically the Brahma Muhurta, which is about 1.5 hours before the sunrise, you could say like 4, around there. If you wake up at 4 o'clock and you chant before sunrise, then that's the mode of goodness at that point. So it is easier to chant. Another reason being is that the rest of the world is pretty much sleeping at that time. So there's really nothing we have to do. There's no other activity going on. So we can chant at that time, and usually the rounds are very nice at that time.
Your mind is still, right? Like it's not distracted.
What was that?
Your mind is still.
Your mind is not as it's still going to distract you.
Yeah.
That's 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's the job of the mind. But it's less at that time. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, you beat the mind in the morning 100 times with the shoe, and you beat it 100 times at night with a broom. So the mind is gonna do its thing at all times, but then we set ourselves up in the best position to try to focus on the holy name. So yes, the morning time, Brahma Muhurta, but again, any time is best. Better to do it in the afternoon than not do it. Better to do it at night than to not do it. But best is to do it in the morning.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay? Hare Krishna.
I can ask another question if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Oh. Yeah.
Like
And,
maybe if there is no more very important questions, maybe you could tell more about this place and how Srila Prabhupada was, how many years he's been here?
yeah.
Was he sitting at the same place there the Muti is?
Yes,
he was
yes,
sitting?
yes. So they've now recreated this place to be like it was in 1966 when Prabhupada acquired the storefront. So Prabhupada did sit here, and Prabhupada was living in an apartment just beyond this courtyard on the second floor. So if you watch old videos of 26 Second Avenue, you see Prabhupada coming in through this door when he was going to give class. So he would come down through the courtyard, walk through this door here. So the devotees rented this storefront and that apartment at the same time. When Prabhupada had come down here to the East Village from when he was living on the upper west side, then he came down here. And I think there's some pictures there where you can see Prabhupada, the setup.
He used to live on the Upper West Side from that?
He was living on the Upper West Side before, yeah.
Where I live. What part?
He was on 72nd Street.
72nd and what?
Like between, he was like on Avenue, I think 11th Avenue, but he lived in various places, but in that area, 72nd Street, yeah. Is that where you're there now? That's when Prabhupada first came. Well, when Prabhupada first came to America, he first went to Butler, Pennsylvania for a month. And then he came back to New York, and he had an associate, Dr. Mishra, who had a yoga studio on the Upper West Side. So he let him stay with him when Prabhupada, the first few months that Prabhupada was here in New York. And then he met some people down here, and they were like, hey, Swami, it's happening down in the East Village. You should come down here. And that's when Prabhupada moved down to the East Village. He actually lived on 91 Bowery first. So it's just, I think the next two streets over or one street? One street over or 2 streets over, Bowery, you make a left, and that's where 91 Bowery is. And then from there, he went to some other place, and then he ended up here. He had this the devotees had this for a few years. In 68, they moved up the street, they went to 61 2nd Avenue. So now it's a bar.
Yeah.
But
Great something is
but at that time, 68, the devotees had that. And then they had, I don't know how long they kept this after that, but for some years the devotees didn't have it for many years. And I think in the 80s they acquired it again, Sasha, right? Something like that. Early 90s. Early 90s they again acquired it, and then there's been programs going on here since then. Yes.
You know, I went on a high school trip, and it was probably 1980 or 81, and it was to see the Krishna devotees.
Okay.
A teacher took us. I remember it was on 7th Avenue, somewhere near the old, where the old Carnegie Deli was.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a very long time ago.
Yeah, so that's a really good point of history. So that 7th Avenue property was purchased after they sold the West 55th Street temple. So on West 55th Street, the devotees had a 13-story building. That when they sold that, then they bought the 7th Avenue property.
So do you know what street exactly it was? 52nd or?
The 7th Avenue property?
Yeah.
I don't remember what street it was. They didn't have it for long. They only had it, I think, for like a year.
Oh,
because what happened was there, well, this is a history lesson. What happened there was the devotees never had a certificate of occupancy. So they were just living there. So then the fire marshal came and shut them down. But then what they did was they sold that building and then they bought Skimmerhorn Street. So where the Radha Govinda are now, since they've been there since 82.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, that makes.
Yeah.
So that's the skyscraper that you're talking about, the 7th Avenue or skyscraper?
No, the skyscraper was before the 7th Avenue. Yeah, you can go see it. Yeah, you can still see it today. West 55th Street. I forget the 340 West 55th Street, I think. But you can see it's 13 stories. It's still there. Yeah.
It was the lesson of history.
Yeah. But yeah, Prabhupada here did the first initiation on Janmashtami 1966. Second initiation Radhastami 1966. And I was just this morning I was serving His Holiness Satsrup Maharaj, who was in that second initiation, Radhastami 1966. So.
Who were serving?
Yeah, Maharaj lives upstate. He lives in Stuyvesant Falls. So I was up there doing some service for Maharaj. He still has his original beads that Prabhupada chanted on. The big red, beads. He has them here.
He has an event twice a year. It's his birthday.
Yeah, he's written over, speak about Krishna consciousness, he's written over 350 books. So he's constantly writing. Even now, he has Parkinson's. He's 86 years old. He wakes up at 2:30, chants and writes.
Wow, 2:30.
And then that's what he does. And his schedule is super regulated. He reads for 1 hour. Right now he's reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, so he reads from 7:30 to 8:30. And then while he takes lunch, he listens to a Prabhupada lecture. So that's why I heard the lecture this morning.
Wow. He's a good example of resiliency. Even despite his adversity, he's still...
Yeah. So there's the bhakti, there's no material impediment. And there's a book that was written called Salted Bread, and it spoke about what the devotees who were in the former Soviet Union, how they were being prosecuted. And even behind bars, they made japa beads with the bread that they were given in string, and they would chant on that. So there's such determination to chant.
One of them became even a saint person there inside, even for prisoners and
Wow.
guards. And they would come like pilgrimage to him to ask questions,
Yeah.
to ask predictions and to get blessings.
Yeah, you see, because there's no material impediment to the mercy of Krishna, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was just reading in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila, chapter 2, where it's explaining how Lord Chaitanya is empowering people to spread the Sankirtan movement. And it's specifically talking about Nrsimhananda Brahmachari, one of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And so he was preaching in Bengal. And there's another devotee, Shivananda Sena, and he was doubtful. He was thinking, did Lord Chaitanya really empower him to preach? And he said, I have this doubt in my mind. This is Shivananda saying, I have this doubt. Did Lord Chaitanya really empower Nishingananda Brahmachari? And so he went to where he was preaching, and he was preaching to, big group, thousands of people. And Shivananda Sena was thinking in his mind, he said, well, if he's really empowered by Lord Chaitanya, then two things will happen. He'll call me to speak to him, and he'll tell me what mantra I'm chanting. So it's just like these two random things. But anyway, what happened was Nishingananda Brahmachari was giving kata, and then he called 4 men, and he said, hey, you 4, find me Shivananda Sena. So then they went out into the crowd. Shivananda Sena, Nishingananda Brahmachari is looking for you. And he was like, okay. So he went to him, he offered obeisances, and then as soon as he got up, he said, you are chanting the Gopal mantra. I know you had these doubts in your mind, but do not doubt the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So, yes.
Do you know how did he get through the iron curtain? Who introduced?
Oh, there's a lot of stories. There's a devotee named Anatoly Prabhu. And when Prabhupada went to Russia, Prabhupada went to Moscow. He went to meet a professor, Professor Kotovsky. And Prabhupada was staying in a museum. And what happened was Shamasundar Prabhu, who was Malati's husband at the time, she put a Bhagavad Gita in his luggage. And at that time you couldn't go into Russia with religious books into the Soviet Union, but she put it in his luggage, and somehow or other when they reached the country, the guards just didn't let it go through. And then that Bhagavad Gita, Anatoly Prabhu took it, and that Bhagavad Gita was copied by hand, translated into Russian, and that's how it was distributed. Yeah.
You only spent like 5 days there, bro.
Yeah, Prabhupada was only there. So, and
him a French lady who, through her, they transferred all the books.
Yeah. I mean, there's different stories of, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, Devamrita Swami doing all these things, like stuffing books inside the engines of cars, and like all these different adventures that devotees did to bring books into the Soviet Union.
Same in German.
Huh?
Same in Germany.
The same in Germany, yeah. Sasha has some.
Alex has
Okay,
a question.
Alex, yes.
You had a second question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had that about the japa too. Like I heard somewhere that I think Srila Prabhupada said that if you chant it alone, it's not as good as if you chant it in group. Like if you chant it in, like kirtan, I don't know if that's true or maybe I misheard. Like when you chant it alone, it builds like a pride, or I don't know. Yeah. Maybe
I think what Prabhupada's referring to when he speaks about building pride, he says if you imitate Haridas Thakur.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people that want to become a Babaji or something, and they'll go and chant somewhere solitarily, and so that's what Prabhupada condemns. But there's no problem chanting your japa alone or with other devotees. Most people are going to be doing it alone because they're going to be at home.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're going to have,
right?
have 30 devotees around you at all times.
But it's better to chant it a group, right?
It's better to chant whenever you can chant.
Yeah, okay.
It's good to chant with a group. It's good to chant alone. It's good to chant.
But alone is hard, like when you chant it in group, like I guess it's easier.
There's definitely power in numbers. Yeah. But again, it's all a personal preference. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, whatever you have to do to focus on the holy names, do it. Even if you have to put yourself in a dark closet with the door shut, do that if that helps you. If you have to cover your head with a blanket, do that. Whatever helps you chant better.
I know that many devotees, they put Srila Prabhupada's japa.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Now, with that, the only thing I would say is one does have to hear oneself chanting as well. So the tape shouldn't be so loud that you can't even hear yourself chanting. It should be that we can still hear our own chanting of the holy name. Like that. Yes, Prabhu.
question about the history. You seem like very knowledgeable in the whole history thing. So in 1967, when Prabhupada came from San Francisco, he came here.
Mm-hmm.
How many initiations did he have before he went to India?
I don't know.
'Cause
I don't know the exact amount.
That's when he had a stroke, right? Like,
Yeah.
probably a few.
Yeah, a few initiations had happened already because, yeah.
And in San Francisco, he only had few, or how many? Like he.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact number. We have to ask a more detailed historian than me.
Prabhupada Lamrita.
Prabhupada Lamrita.
Yeah,
But even there, it might not even have the amount of initiations he held.
because I know he had an initiation in January when
Yeah.
the rock concert was there. He had initiated like 4 devotees there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
There weren't many though at that point. You know, 67. It was still the
Yeah,
very
so
beginning.
fresh.
Yeah. So. Okay. Any other questions?
Are these paintings original from
Yes.
other times?
Yes. Yes. Some of them are. This one's original. That one's original. This one is original also,
Yeah,
Sasha?
it was recently discovered and brought back.
Oh, it was revived.
Uh,
Yeah, so these are original.
Okay.
Yeah, a few of these are original paintings from that time, from Prabhupada's time. Yeah. And you can see some of them in the pictures actually.
Yeah, like right there, you can
Yeah.
see this one, and
Yeah.
you can see the curtains over there.
And the font of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is it the same they used to?
Is it the same, Sasha?
I'm not sure. This like they recently made this sign.
Yeah.
Probably they used
Recreated a
some
lot of it.
pictures
Recreated, yeah.
before, but I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
which one.
But more or less, they've made it the way it was. Yeah, that's under the guidance of His Holiness Radhanath Swami, has been pushing for it. So it's nice. It's nice to come here. It's definitely a tirtha. From here, the whole Hare Krishna movement started all over the world. It's just unimaginable.
And there are videos where Prabhupada will come from the back
Yeah.
courtyard and sit over
Yeah.
there.
Now, one thing I do want to mention, though, is that, and this goes along with that story I just mentioned with Nishingananda Brahmachari, is that, yes, there's always the feeling of, oh, I wish I would have been here when Prabhupada was here. But guess what? That same mercy, that same ecstasy is still available for everybody. Because the Panchatattva broke open the storehouse of love of God, and one can still tap in to that same vibration. So there's no loss. We don't have to get depressed. We can just go on chanting.
Prabhupada is here.
And Prabhupada is here. Prabhupada is here.
Yes.
So no depressed. Just chant Hare Krishna. Chant and be happy. And actually, one of my mentors, he mentions that actually it's even we're even more fortunate, because it's described that as you go further down away, there's more mercy that flows from the parampara. So the further you are away, the more mercy is coming from Krishna. So you can look at it in that way as well.
Plus, Srila Prabhupada said he's always going to be there in his books. And
He's always going to be in his books, and it's mentioned that the grandfather is more merciful to the grandchildren than the father. So Srila Prabhupada would say that to his disciples. He says, actually, my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is showering his blessing thousands of times more than me. So for those who are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, or disciples of, or grand disciples also of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, we can take assurance that the parampara is blessing us more and more. And they're like, look at these Westerners, because everyone here is a Westerner today. And that's again the miracle of Srila Prabhupada, and the miracle of the Krishna consciousness movement is spanning all over the world.
yeah.
Is how, I mean, I look Indian, but I'm not Indian. I'm Dominican. It's like, how can a Dominican guy sit here and recite Bhagavad Gita, philosophy, Srimad Bhagavatam? How? What is that? That's the mercy of the Guru Parampara.
And so good too,
No. Krishna.
Quick question too.
Yeah.
When you, because you say real estate, you do real estate. When do you read the book, scriptures, like before 9 a.m. or like
Yeah.
what's your schedule?
You want to know my schedule?
I mean like when do you?
Okay.
Because you read every day, right?
I'll tell you my schedule. I wake up at 2:30. Then I depending on, so my wife right now, she's staying upstate and I'm staying here, so we get on a japa call early in the morning and we chant japa together. So I chant my rounds, then I read for 45 minutes. Right now I'm reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm in Antya Leela chapter 5. Then I do a chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Then and Chad, everyone can join Chad. This is an open invitation. You're all invited to join Chad, chapter a day. You can read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, either the English or the Sanskrit, or both. I do Chad, then I journal. Then I hear a lecture, and then I get ready. And by 9 o'clock, I turn my phone on.
What time do you go to bed and do you sleep during the day?
I'm usually in bed. Today's going to be an exception. It's going to be a late one for me, but I'm usually in bed by 8:30. Yeah, I'm usually in bed by 8:30.
You should nap during the day.
Sometimes. Depends. A lot of times I don't get a chance because clients are just calling. Clients and this and that. But yeah, sometimes you get a little nap in. Like I took a little nap. I parked my car on 4th Street. I stopped the car. I put a 20-minute timer. I took a 20-minute nap and then that's it. Quick recharge. Yeah. So that's it. By 9, then ready to go.
And when you were in Brooklyn, I never see anybody on time, sharp time for waking up the gates.
Hare Krishna. Mathura Vilasini, she does so much service at the temple.
Is at 4:30. He will be always on time.
Hare Krishna.
I never see him one time late.
And what's good about that, after you do all that, then your clients get the blessings of you.
Oh yeah.
Chanting.
Yeah, they all get prasadam. Everybody, open houses, consultations, everyone gets prasad. And then, so that's it. And that's it. Then we do our best as we're going around this world, leaving people with a good impression. Because if people walk away thinking, oh, I just met such a nice person, that is agyata sukriti for that person. Because they're thinking something good about someone that's serving Krishna. So they make spiritual advancement. So this is be an ambassador of goodwill. It means we just help people in whatever level they're at. Actually, there's a very powerful purport in the 12th chapter, which this purport will change your life. Anybody want to hear it?
Yes, please.
So this is, let's see here. So this is chapter 12, text 11. And it says, if, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act by giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. So this is a series of verses where Krishna is just really extending himself, saying, if you can't do this, then do this. If you can't do that, then do this. If you can't do this, at least do this. And this purport, Prabhupada gives a revelation here. It said, it may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of the Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be some objections from family members, or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated results of his activities to some good cause. Such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions of punya, or special work in which the result of one's previous action may be applied. Thus, one may gradually become elevated to the stage of knowledge. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. That means his cash. That is also recommended here, because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually. And in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience, because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there are impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his actions. In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one country, etc. may be accepted, so that someday one may come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 1846, we find it stated, Yatha pravittir bhutanam. If one decides to sacrifice for the Supreme Cause, even if he does not know that the Supreme Cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Cause by the sacrificial method. So encouraging people whatever level they're at. And one thing I like to do when I go on Sankirtan and I happen to run into one of our Christian friends, a lot of times they want to tell you how much they love Jesus and how much you should love Jesus as well. But I tell them, as soon as they mention they're Christian, I don't even, no resistance. Really? I love Jesus. And it's true. Right? We love Jesus. He's the Son of God. And then I say, can you pray for me? Because that completely disarms them. Can you pray for me? Oh, yes. And then they ask, what do you want me to pray for? And then I tell them, can you pray for me that I can develop love of God in my heart? Oh, that's a great, yes. My dear Lord, please bless this man to please develop love for you so he can love you, so he can spread your love all over the world. And I'm like, yes, yes. And in that way, leave them with a favorable impression. They just did Sankirtan. They glorified the Lord in the way they knew. And that's it. So that is being an ambassador of goodwill of the Sankirtan movement. Is we try to engage everyone in some good work. The highest work, of course, is serving Krishna, serving God. And if they can't do that, at least if they think that you're a good person, then they'll make advancement as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we'll do a little kirtan.
Yeah.
Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Everyone wants to stand up for